Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and today I'm going to do the 901 tag created by Sandy at Ms. Reads a Lot. I was tagged by Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl, and this tag has a hell of a first prompt. I have prepared all the prompts for this, so it's a slight cheat. Not a huge one, I hope, but the first prompt is 901 books. Name as quickly as possible the last 9 books you read. This should be from memory. No peeking. I finished it this morning. His Excellency by Joseph J. Ellis, a biography of George Washington. The Egg and Other Stories by Andrew Weir, science fiction short stories, pretty good. The City and the Stars by Arthur C. Clarke. The Barbarous Coast by Ross MacDonald. Women Without Men by an Iranian women author, Shrajni. It's hard to pronounce looking at it, but I cannot pronounce it from memory. That's 5. Oh Lord, what else did I read? Riverman by McGrath, a biography of a homeless man on a river. I'm just drawing a huge blank. The Body Snatchers. No, Body Snatchers is not that quick. I read some other things before The Body Snatchers. How hard is it to remember these darn books? Well, I know the Body Snatchers is like 8 or 9. There's Vantage, I'll just do Body Snatchers, Vantage Book of Poetry by Tainham Bumbrick. And I give up. I fail. I know I printed it out like an hour ago and it's already out of my memory. So I've got like 7 of my 9. Okay, prompt number 1, 901. Memories. What is the actual list of the 9 books that you read? How close were you? Well, we know I messed up. All right, His Excellency. I got that one. A Man for All Seasons by Robert Bolt. That's a DNF, so maybe that doesn't count. The Egg and Other Stories by Andrew Weir. Got that one. The Barbarous Coast by Ross MacDonald. Got that one. A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Tolls for my in-person book group. Totally forgot about that one. Women Without Men by Shanarush Parasapar. I got that one. City and the Stars. Okay, those were a little out of date. The Riverman, I mentioned that. And The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney, I mentioned that. And Vantage by Tainham Bumbrick. Okay, so the only one I truly forgot was my DNF and A Gentleman in Moscow. It sucks getting old, losing your memory. Okay, 901 favorites. Out of the 9, which one was your favorite? Toss up between The Body Snatchers and The Barbarous Coast. Body Snatchers, I've done sort of a mini review in my science fiction wrap-up. That was a 1950s science fiction story about the pod people. And The Barbarous Coast was a detective novel in the 50s about a detective going after a missing woman. A lot of fun. 901 pictures. Share the 9th non-bookish picture from your camera roll. Okay, I had to get this before I started. And no big surprise. If you know my channel, this is a cat picture. You're not going to find a lot of wife pictures on my camera roll. Sorry, but I take more pictures of my cats. And this is Pip using me as a cat mattress because what are people for other than for a cat to sleep on? So that's Pip. $901. What was the last book you purchased? Okay. The last book I purchased was, here we go, I listed Dispiacio H.G. The Vanishing by Guido Marcelli. That was a paperback book. I also purchased a bunch of ebooks, and these are just before I started my 100 book challenge. And that was Women Without Men, already mentioned and read, Permafrost by Alistair Reynolds, a short science fiction novel by a Welsh author, which I may have to read for my the World Cup, but maybe not. I think Wales is failing. I got Cradles of the Reich, a novel by Jennifer Coburn. This is a brand new historical novel about the women in the Third Reich who were forced to give birth to Aryan babies. Then Kolma Stories, a New York Review book classic by Varmar Shlavov, short stories translated from the Russian. I also purchased The Paris Bookseller by Kelly Marr. And this is, I think, a contemporary novel. I purchased it for my in-person book group for sometime this summer. It was on sale for $1.99, and I just had to go get it. And then Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Trina, and that is a short horror novel. That's all the books that I bought. I can't buy any more books until I finish this darn challenge, which has been up to 500 books. I'm nuts. All right. Miles. What is the farthest you have ever traveled from home and have ever read a book from that location? Maybe. It also depends. What is my home and where I travel? Because I used to live outside of Seattle, Washington. And I lived there for 15 years. I'm currently living in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is a far suburb of Washington, D.C. So I asked that device, which I will not name because I don't want her to answer me, but from Seattle to Hawaii is 2,679 miles. That is just beat by Ocomal, Mexico, which is 2,710 miles. So the farthest I have traveled from Seattle is Ocomal, Mexico. And no, I've not read anything from Ocomal, Mexico. But I have read from Seattle to Hawaii. And the last one I read was a book called 5 Decembers. I don't remember the author, but it is a historical murder mystery set on Hawaii during World War II. Or should I say, just before World War II and during World War II. Now, if you go from my current location in Washington, the furthest distance I've traveled is still Hawaii. So we're going to say Hawaii is the furthest I've ever gone. And yes, I have read a book from there. 901 Facts. Do you read nonfiction? What is one of your favorite nonfiction reads of the year? Yes, I really do like reading nonfiction. As I said previously, I just finished a biography of George Washington, and it is an excellent biography, but not my favorite of the year. I have a tie for our favorite nonfiction of the year. The first would be Empire of Pain, The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty by Patrick Keefe. That is the winner of the BookTube Prize in Nonfiction, and I was a judge for that, and it did get my #1 slot in the judgeship and gets top billing for 2022. The other favorite nonfiction is a reread, and that is If This Is a Man by Primo Levi. That is a memoir of Levi's time in Auschwitz. And it is a devastatingly tough book to read, but it's utterly fascinating. And I think everyone should read that. Or Night by Eli Wiesel, because people need to know about Auschwitz. And it's something we should never forget. 901 subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers. I really appreciate all your support over the last year as I work my way through the books on the 1001 book countdown. My question is to the subscribers, what is one of your favorite books you have read this year? Please leave a comment with your favorite. Okay, I read all Sandy's comments, and you can kind of ignore Sandy's part, but my question to my subscribers, what is your favorite book that you have read this year? When I answered this for Jolene, I had two answers. The first was, I limited my answers to books that are not rereads. So The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann is a fabulous novel, incredibly dense, incredibly difficult, but extremely rewarding, about a man who goes to live on a mountain because he fears he may have a disease. And the other was True Grit by Charles Portis. This was in my audio pick, and I picked it mainly for the narrator, Donna Tartt. She just nails the character of Maddie in her narration. I'm glad I got photobombed. I like videos with photobombs. And this is Bella. Bella, say hello to BookTube, Bella. You are so beautiful. Yes. So those are my two picks for the favorite book of the year that are not rereads. So please leave in the comments what your favorite books are. And now, 901 friends. Tag some friends. All right. I have basically looked at some of my comments left over the past few days, and I am picking the people that have left some comments. And I did write this down, and now I have to go from memory. No, let's go from memory. Let's do The Grim Reader, Bandana Book Mom, Bad is Rad 2. So we're going to leave it at those three because I had written down some others, but as we've shown from prompt one, my memory is not that great. I'm not sure all those people I mentioned actually do tags. If you don't do tags, don't worry about it. Well, thank you for watching, and keep on reading.